I'm your mom.
Run was co-written and directed by Anish Chigante and stars Kira Allen and Sarah Paulson. And this film tells the story of a mother and daughter, and the film focuses on the daughter who has physical disabilities like paralysis, diabetes, asthma, things like that, and how her mother has been taking care of her for about 17 years or so. But one day the daughter discovers that her mother is giving her a drug that was prescribed to her mom in actuality instead of herself, and she begins to suspect that her mother doesn't exactly have the best intentions for her, and one thing leads to another, and you basically get a Stephen King-esque kind of thriller, and boy, howdy did I love this movie. Now, for those of you that don't know, the director of this movie was the co-writer and director of Searching, one of my favorite movies of 2018. In that film, he really used... it was all took place entirely on phones and computers and things like that. So while it seems like that it was a gimmick at first, when you first see it, you realize that it was actually a tool to really tell this kind of story in a very different way. Here, he actually goes for a very normal film-esque style, like, filming with actual cameras and things like that. So at first, when I heard that he was directing this movie, I was very curious how he was going to adapt to a whole different medium, and he did an amazing job here. It's done incredibly well, and I think that this is a fantastic follow-up to his first film. I want to get this out of the gate. Kira Allen, Sarah Paulson, absolutely amazing in this film. Kira just was fantastic through and through, and not just her performance. I absolutely loved the way that her character was written, and I'll get to that later, but her performance was just absolutely outstanding in this film. But we can't not mention Sarah Paulson. Now, Sarah Paulson has been in many horror movies, thrillers, things like that for the past, decade or so, and I actually haven't really seen that many, performances of hers, where she's actually, being creepy, and this was really my first one, and I understand why she is cast so much in those roles, because boy howdy is she creepy in this, and I absolutely loved every second of it. But I really love the dynamic that the two of them have, because you do really believe they are a mother-daughter couple. But once things, really start to take a turn for the worse, you really begin to question, what's real, what's not, why is everything so creepy, and why am I loving this so much? But so good. One thing that always gets me about movies like this is that typically, the characters are written very poorly or very stupidly, and yes, there are times when character does things that you're not supposed to do, because that builds tension, and while for certain degrees that works, for a lot of it, it's just this is just stupid that you're making all of these stupid decisions when the most obvious choice is right in front of you. But boy howdy is Kira's character written very smartly. Yes, that's the word I'm going with. She's just... it makes me happy seeing a character in any kind of thriller or horror movie that's written with actual intelligence. Because to me, when they're actually written as people that are intelligent, that think wisely, it makes it a lot more investing for me to get invested in the movie. Yes, that's the phrasing I'm going to use here. But by actually writing her to be smart, I actually get invested a lot more in her character and what's going to happen, because I know that she could figure out a way out of the scenarios that she finds herself in. And when she does, I'm like, how's this working? How's this going to work? And then when I see it, I'm like, oh, that's cool. I like that. That's wise. You're a lot wiser than me. But also, Sarah's character is also written, as... I don't want to give away anything, but the way that she's written, it's very believable. And that's really all I'm going to say, but that believability can really turn into kind of psychopathic scary, but it's done very, very well. I'm very happy about that. Now, the thrills of this movie... they're very thrilling. I was on the edge of my seat for a lot of this film. And again, I'm not going to give away any spoilers or anything, but there's a lot of times I just things are happening. This is intense. I'm loving this. That happens a lot, and there's a lot of times I'm just how's this going to play out? What's going to happen? I'm very curious. And that to me is a sign of a really good thriller. When you can keep me on the edge of my seat and keep me guessing as to what's going to happen next, that is when you've done a very good job. And this film, I get props for that. And a lot of times with movies like these, this is only an hour and a half. A lot of times it could usually turn out that the runtime needs to be a bit longer to add in a bit more things. But like with Searching, that film was around the same time, maybe only a few minutes longer. But like that film, Anish knows that he needs to get information to us very quickly in a very smart manner that's not beating us over the head with it, but it feels normal to how it would play out in the world. And with Searching's opening montage, here in the beginning, you learn what you need to learn about who these characters are, their routines, things like that, so that way you understand how things will play out later in the film. And it's done in like the first couple minutes, maybe like 10 minutes or so, and then like, you know, gets right to like, you know, the tense, and it's done very well. Anish is a fantastic director. I'm very excited to see what he does next. Overall, I absolutely loved Run. While I wish that I would have gotten to see this in theaters like it was originally planned, I'm very happy that it is available on Hulu to watch. So I would highly recommend that if you have Hulu, please give it a watch. You will not regret it. It is fantastic. The performances from both our lead actresses was great. The writing was fantastic. The direction was amazing. I think this was a fantastic follow-up to Searching, and I'm very excited to see what Anish has in store for the future. I'm going to give Run a 9 out of 10. I love this movie. This is definitely one of the highlights of the film year. Yes, I'm very good at words tonight. I loved it. I'm very excited to watch it again. And yeah, I highly recommend that you check this out. So have you seen Run? What'd you think of it? What'd you think of Searching? Let me know down in the comments below. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, all that cool stuff. And I will see you all next time.